Hello, today we are going to solve equations using adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. These are part 1 notes. Okay, we will use the inverse operation to solve equations. Inverse operations undo each other. So addition and subtraction are inverse, and then multiplication and division are inverse. Okay, so to solve an equation, you use the inverse operation. You use the opposite. Here are the rules. We're going to always write the original equation. We're going to use the inverse operation to get the variable by itself. The variable is the letter. That's the whole goal. What is x equal? What is y equal? What is z equal? We're going to show our work out to the side. We're going to show cancellations. We're going to box our answer and show our checks. Okay? Okay, so number 1, it says something plus 4 is 29. Okay? So again, this is an addition equation. So to solve an addition equation, we use the inverse operation. The inverse of addition is subtraction. So if it says y plus 4, we're going to do the opposite, or the inverse, and subtract 4 from both sides. If you look on the left side of the equation, we have 4 minus 4, which is 0. So we're left with just y. So the 4's cancel out. 4 minus 4 is 0. So show your cancellation and solve on the right. 29 minus 4 is 25. Box your answer. And then we're going to check our work. We just said that y is 25. So we're going to put 25 back in for y. So out to the side, we're going to do 25 plus 4, and that is 29. So it does check out. Number 2 says m minus 13, or something minus 13, is 89. This is a subtraction equation. To solve subtraction, we're going to do the inverse. The inverse of subtraction is addition. So if it says m minus 13, we're going to add 13 to both sides. And negative 13 plus 13 is 0. And then we're going to add. So m is 102. And then we're going to check. We're going to put 102 back in for m, subtract 13, so we have 89. 102 minus 13 is 89, so it does check out. Okay, so the opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. Look at number 3. A number next to a letter says multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. We want the letter, the variable, by itself. 5 divided by 5 is 1x. And then we can do 130 divided by 5. We're always going to show our work. So we're going to get x is 26. We'll box that answer. And then we're going to put 26 back in for x. We know a number next to a letter means multiplication. So we're going to do 26 times 5. And we do get 130. It checks out. Number 4. It says g divided by 12. The inverse of division is multiplication. So if it says divide by 12, we're going to do the inverse and multiply by 12. Think of this as a fraction, and those will cancel. So we're going to do 12 times 6 to get 72. And then we're going to check to make sure that makes sense. 72 divided by 12. We just did it. 12 times 6 is 72. So it checks out. Okay. The bottom 2, it says 13 plus p. Remember, that's the same thing as p plus 13. To get that letter, that p by itself, we're going to do the inverse. So instead of adding 13, we're going to subtract 13 from both sides. to get P by itself. So I have 187, and then we're going to put 187 back in for P and make sure it makes sense. And that is 200. It checks out. So we're checking all of our answers. And then 6 is kind of written reverse in the opposite order, but that's okay. We still, the whole goal is to get the R by itself. So if it says minus 6, we're going to do the inverse and add 6. So we get 21, and then put 21 back in for R. 21 minus 16, or I'm sorry, 21 minus 6, we should get 15. And we do. It does check out. So we know we got our answer correct. Okay, so some of these, yes, are easy enough to do in our head, but we are not. So we are going to solve using the inverse operation and show all of our work and our checks.